Sweet. I was kind of worried it wasn't going to work there for a minute. So, welcome to another live stream. This one, actually going to be getting work done. Pretty much just going through and curating the rest of the butterflies I have out. I have some swallowtails. I have some Lycenity to go through and the rest of my skippers. I went through last night and got them all identified and the new labels on and everything. So should hopefully be a little fun time just looking at the different butterflies I have left to do. And I'm actually going to just go ahead and start with the swallowtails. So got tiger swallowtails in here, along with a couple of moths. But I'll be going through those at a different time. I have currently I have 4 empty drawers, so I'll be filling those up, and pretty much just hopefully I'll have enough space to put all this stuff. By the way, I'm assuming the audio is working, so if you can tell me if it is or not, that'd be fantastic. Awesome, thank you. And so going through the swallowtails, so I have those ones. I also have more on here that I'll be adding as well. Now, I guess we'll start with Papilio canadensis, the Canadian tiger swallowtail. That's the one I grew up with. I find, at least in Wisconsin, northern half of the state, you tend to see canadensis. And the southern half of the state, you get glaucus, the eastern tiger swallowtail. Now, I've been going back and forth on whether I should put them in these unit trays or the large ones. I haven't decided yet. I guess it's going to be kind of which fits the space better in terms of thing. I mean, yeah, go big or go home. I mean, I currently have 5 of these to use. So I'll probably be using them all with the swallowtails. So just to start with, I'm going to go ahead and put the Papilio multicaudata in here, which is the 2-tailed swallowtail. And I'm going to see how that looks. And Papilio multicaudata is a Western species. Really, it's actually a pretty large swallowtail. Next one here. So there we go. As you can see, really beautiful species. You can see the double tails here. That's obviously how it got its name. And all of these specimens I collected in Colorado. And honestly, of the tiger swallowtails here in the U.S., this is my favorite one. So for this species in particular, the large box, I wanted to use for sure. So I'm really happy. I'm glad it turned out that way. I guess I'll go ahead and get a drawer open. Oh, that's interesting. I guess they made it easier to open the drawers. So go ahead, put that in there. We got some Western tiger swallowtails as well. You have Western tigers Bayou. Yeah, I have a number of Western tiger swallowtails as well. I found them pretty common in Colorado. I'm fortunate to have a fair number of swallowtail species. There's still a few I'm missing. Eastern the Eastern tiger is the state butterfly of South Carolina. That's cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and use another big box, see how it looks. And I'm gonna do the Canadian tiger swallowtail. Now this is of the tiger swallowtails, the Canadian tiger swallowtail, I would say is the smallest species. Maybe almost the size of the Western tiger swallowtail. All right, so we got the Canadian tiger swallowtail all situated. There's space in there for a specimen or two if I want to add one or two. So I think I like the look of the large unit trays with at least these ones. And well, I think for the other one, a regular one might be fine. But this is the species I see, tiger swallowtail I see in northern Wisconsin. Pretty nice there. So I'll get that in there. Oh, my next order was from that place, the Jean Piquet place. Was going to be a couple of Cornell drawers. I wasn't sure on the shipping what it would be or not, but I did order from them. I ordered a shipment of unit trays, and they just arrived. Yeah, the shipping was a little on the high side, but Unfortunately, at this point, it might be our only place to go. I don't know if there's any suppliers in Europe that'll be cheaper, but what are good spots for beetles? Uh, well, it kind of depends on what beetles you're looking for. You can pretty much find beetles anywhere. Lucanus elaphus, oh, the giant stayed beetle. I actually have a specimen of that. I don't know where it is at the moment. Oh, just sitting in this tray right there. And that specimen is from North Carolina that my roommate back in college actually collected for me when he was there. Oh, that cicada. Yeah, that's a nice size cicada. Collected in southeast Colorado. All right, so got the Papilioglockus, the eastern tiger swallowtail. And I only have 4 specimens of that. So it'd be kind of a waste to put it in one of the large ones. So these fit quite perfectly in this size. So I think that'll work out just fine. And the species left in this drawer is Papilio rudilus, the western tiger swallowtail. And I have enough specimens of those. I'm going to put them in a large tray here. So we have the western tiger swallowtail in the tray there. So that would turn out pretty good, I think. So this is what the drawer looks like at the moment. So we can see we have a space here for one more of these unit tray sizes. And hopefully you can find something there. Just some Polyphemus moths and some Luna moths left in this drawer. But those will be going through a different time. So we're on to the next drawer of swallowtails. General good places to search for beetles. So honestly anywhere. Um, the beetles I search like especially on plants, on trees, and on flowers. A lot of cool beetles um, are in that area. Um, like tiger beetles, like barren habitats, sandy habitats, forests, um, other stuff, and like underneath logs in the water, at lights at night. Um, yep, logs and woods are good places. Um, pretty much any place you think you can see an insect, chances are you can probably find a beetle there as well. Good. Feeder crickets. Yeah, I actually currently work at kind of an insect farm type place. So we raise dubias, fruit flies, crickets, mealworms, hornworms, all that stuff. And so I raise insects for the pet trade currently. And I started with insects when I was 5. And like you, the my passion for insects has grown ever since and is still definitely growing. Your best beetle is Carabus nemoralis. I don't know what my best beetle is. Well, I don't know which species I should. So this is the drawer here. I have room for one more tray. This one more size tray like this. A lot of these ones have a little bit too many specimens to fit into a single one of this. However, well, maybe not. Should I put the should I put Papilio Indra in that? Papilio Choilus? Or should I put a Parnassus? Parnassus. I just realized I forgot to make a label. Whatever it's called. At the moment, I'm going to see if they all fit. Species label. Yeah, that's what it is. We'll find out. Now I feel or I believe I might have like 2 different subspecies of this. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be room in this one. No. So I have a little bit too much for that one. That's all right, though. For cerambicids, I collect a lot of my cerambicids just on flowers. Flowers are a good place to collect those at. All right, so that species is not going to work in there. I guess I'll just make do. With this, I only have two specimens of these. Papilio troilus, the spice bush swallowtail. Got these, collected these specimens down in Arkansas. So it kind of goes against the color scheme in this drawer, but it's room and it fits. So we got a drawer finished. So I think it turned out pretty nice. Definitely looks a lot neater. And do have room for a specimen or two if I end up getting a couple more. So really happy with how that turned out. Set that aside and I'll get another drawer ready. All right. I have two of these left. And I think I have two species in here that'll fit nicely. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the pipevine swallowtail. And get that in there. Grasshoppers that fly. Those are, grasshoppers are a main focus of my collecting now. So I catch a lot of grasshoppers. So I either try and just sneak up as close as I can and get the net over them, slam the net on the ground, and trap them on the ground. So then when they fly up into the net. But if they're really spook easily, sometimes if I spook one up, I see where it lands, then get to a position of where it is, and then it sounds kind of stupid, but it works. I see it where it lands. If I know it's like a really easily spooked, that'll fly up when I get close. I just go into like a jog or a sprint, and then it'll fly up as I'm getting there. And then when it flies up, I swing my net and I catch it in midair. That method takes a little practice to get down. But once I got the hang of it, it's pretty easy to get specimens doing that way. All right. It looks like all of them for that. So we got pipevine swallowtail here. You can really see the really beautiful iridescent blue coloration on the hind wing there. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that's good in there. Let's see. In here we have a couple species left. Well, okay. I guess I need to grab the last big one. I guess I should have ordered more. Well, pallid winged grasshoppers are. I've come across my fair share of those out west. They were always a tricky bunch to collect. Yeah, not much success in the tropics with orthopterans. That sucks. There's so many tropical orthopteran species I want to get. Labeling, yeah, I still use Excel. It's just easiest for me. Other people like to use Excel. Others actually have actual programs they use. I think in terms of how to make the labels, like Excel or an actual label program, I think that comes down to more personal preference to whoever's making the label. Entimo labels. I'll have to check that one out. So species I'm putting in next is Eastern black swallowtail. Pretty common species here in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Collected, actually, it's a pretty widespread species altogether. All right, so we got a tray of the black swallowtail. See all the males up here, and these larger ones with the blue wings are females. So they're kind of sexually dimorphic in terms of their coloration. It always thinks it looks nice. And now that looks like that is it for the bead trays. Now, okay, I guess I'll do Papilio palamedes, the Palamedes swallowtail. This is a large, gorgeous species that I've collected down in Texas, as well as Louisiana. I have only 3 specimens of this species. It's a really large, really beautiful species. The ones I have are kind of in rough shape. Well, the middle one isn't too bad. Yeah, I do have quite a few swallowtails. Kind of fortunate I've had the opportunity to get quite a few different species. Okay. I'll go ahead and get the giant swallowtails out of the way. How do I preserve / store butterflies, and especially large ones for preservation? Problems with fungus, blights, fits and clean. So kind of use this, but this eastern giant swallowtail, for example, this particular specimen, I did have to rehydrate. So I store my butterflies and moths if I'm not pinning them right away. I store them in glassine envelopes. Yes, and you can also like just store them in like tracing paper envelopes and stuff. Then I either just keep them in the freezer or keep them in a tight box to keep the pests out. Then they'll just dry like that. And then when you want to get them spread, you put them in a hydrating chamber to get them moisten them up and make the wings and the legs movable again. For me, when I rehydrate, because I've rehydrated the swallowtails, but I've also rehydrated like a lot of small blues and stuff, the smaller butterflies, and even skipper butterflies. I've rehydrated pretty good. And then for my rehydrating chamber, I got a airtight container. Put moist paper towels on the bottom. Had a little like shelf thingy in it that I placed butterflies and moths on, and then I just let it. And I put water in there and like a dash of soap or something to like help prevent mold and stuff. And then I just left the specimens in the hydrating chamber for either overnight, so about 12 to 24 hours. And I've had the occasional specimen that still after that time didn't really want to cooperate. But 95% of the time, the method I use, I've ended up with the good results spreading them out after that amount of time, rehydrating them. Is my method foolproof? I'm sure there's a better way to do it. Others probably have better success than I do doing that way, but it works for me. Best way to store butterflies? No, I wouldn't don't put butterflies in alcohol. I don't, at least. Some people that do, they put them in alcohol for like more genetics when they want to preserve the DNA and stuff, so they can get the DNA out of it. Baking. I didn't think of baking sheets. I tried wax paper once. I didn't like wax paper. Tracing. I find tracing paper works good because I use the tracing paper to, when I'm spreading butterflies and moths, I use the tracing paper to hold their wings down, and that works well as well. If I need space from envelopes. So, some of you might be aware, some of you may not, but the eastern giant swallowtail, Papilio crescentis, a few years ago it was split up into two. You have the eastern and the western. The western is Papilio rumico. And overall, they look pretty similar, with some small differences. And from what I understood, and from what I looked, and like from the location where I collected, I got both. So I have the eastern here, and I have the western here. This was based on just like small morphological and differences in pattern and that stuff, as well as the location. So I believe I have both of them. That's what I'm going with anyway. So I have room in here. No. I forgot a black swallowtail specimen. Okay. So I think next I'm going to do the pale swallowtail. Now I wanted to put the pale swallowtail in with the tiger swallowtails because they're similar looking. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough room in the tiger swallowtail drawer, so I had to make do with what I had. Now, hopefully, yeah, I should have enough room. I hope I do. All those. Oh no! Of course. Dang nabbit. Of course, I didn't have any room left in there for those. Uh, well, I do have room to put that species in. I have some Papilio Indra. As well as Anise Swallowtail. Oh, I guess the best way to do this. I'll take the giant swallowtails out. Yeah. Okay, so I think I figured this out on how I'm going to make this work. So we have a Papilio Indra. Really, really beautiful small swallowtail species. Got these ones in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. I think Indra is primarily just a Western species. I don't think it's Eastern. In there, we got the Anise swallowtail. I need to make a species label for this one. Yeah, bees would be hairy insects. And then, velvet ants. I love velvet ants so much. I forgot which thing my velvet ants are in. I have a decent amount of velvet ants. And this is the pale swallowtail. This is the species I wanted to put in with the tiger swallowtails. As you can see, Y has that same bold black pattern shaped like a tiger. Just these are pale. Hence the name. But these will go fine in this drawer. Which means this drawer is complete. So swallowtail drawer number 2. I think it turned out really nice. Really love the look of it. And we have a couple trays left over for a start of drawer number 3. I like the way how it turned out. Okay. Empty drawer number 3. Okay. So we got the Rocky Mountain Parnassus. Really beautiful. Member of the swallowtail family. And this whole group of butterflies are truly amazing. The look of them, just absolutely gorgeous. Do you know a go-to way of insect preservation? So for insect preservation for the ones I work with, so these days my primary focus are ants, formicity, orthoptera, grasshoppers, katydids, crickets, and aquatic beetles. Now for the grasshoppers, I give them the vial and I just put them in the freezer, and then I leave them in the freezer until I'm ready to get them out and pin them. Um, for my ants and aquatic beetles, I put them straight into vial of alcohol, and I keep them in there until I'm ready to pin them. Then I just take them out, let them dry, and then do what I need to do. Okay, so the last of the swallowtails. Ooh. So that's the start of this drawer. As you can see, plenty of room. So that room will be getting filled up with I have so many lids laying around. For bees, what I do, because I used to do like bowl traps and stuff for bees. So they'd be like matted and stuff. Then I'd wash it off with alcohol, and then I'd store the bees in alcohol. Then they get washed off in the alcohol. Then I put them in a glass jar with a screen lid, and I like use the jar cap to secure the screen on top of the jar. Then I take a hair dryer and then air dry the bees that are in the jar, and that will dry them out, evaporate the alcohol, and get all their hair back and fluffy and stuff. And that's a method I've used in the past, and I still use if I have to go that route. And that's what worked for me, like washing bees and getting bees prepped to pin if they're like in alcohol and stuff. All right, so we got another empty drawer here. All right, so the swallowtails are all done. Set that there for a moment. Now, I would like your opinion of which group to go through next. Should I do the rest of my lysinids? This is mostly hair streaks and coppers. Or should I go through the rest of my skippers? It doesn't matter to me. If you guys want to see one group first before the other, let me know real quick. I hope I have enough trays. I ordered a bunch. All right, well, we'll go ahead and start with the Lycinity. Get the hair streaks and coppers done and out of the way. Oh man, poison ivy is acting up again. I kind of forgot I had a drink there. Okay, so with most of these, I don't have a lot of specimens per species. So all of these ones are either going into this size unit tray or this size unit tray. And actually, these two unit tray sizes are going to be what's used for the rest of the, or most of the rest of the skippers as well. I only have a few left on this side. Luckily, I have a whole pile of unit trays over there. But I guess we can start with Califris genus. Califris includes some hair streaks and elfins and those species. So to start off, we have a juniper hair streak. And this is kind of hard to see because I think the camera's pretty crappy. But it's a really nice, beautiful green coloration on the underside. This is a Califris grinius. Really beautiful species. There's going to be some rearranging later, I think. But for now, I'm just going to fill up what's left in this box or this drawer, and then just for ease of convenience to showing you guys and all that, I'll then later I'll have to rearrange everything and get it how I want it, because that might take a little time. So I got more trays up here. Okay, so this one looks like it's going to be we have Califris Nifon as the next. And this species is the Eastern Pine Elfin. Well, I guess I could have fit in that one. Seems like a lot of leftover space in there. I think I can fit them all in here. I'll see. When dealing with larger collection and trying to it's a delicate balance between utilizing the space you have. One box for one species, or one tray for one species. That's how I like to do it. For me, I'm kind of a stickler about some things. And one of them is making sure the trays and everything look aesthetically pleasing. And so having a one species per tray for me is aesthetically pleasing. Plus, it helps me keep track of what species I have and all that stuff. Um, Especially with a pretty fast growing large collection that I have. Um, for me, I think that's more of a necessity for me. For smaller collections, um, some people like to put a genus, a single genus per tray, especially on the larger unit trays. But yeah, for me personally, I do one species per tray. Oh, hi, Robbie. You missed all the fun stuff with all the swallowtails. We're on the Lycenids now. Okay, so since we did the eastern um, pine elfin, I guess we'll do the western pine elfin. So we have the western pine elfin. As you can see, um, pretty visually similar to the eastern. Easiest way to tell the difference: location. Eastern United States, Western United States. For the most part, there might be a place or two where they overlap. Oh, that's not a bad way of doing it. If you can't get like the professional actual inset stuff. I mean, I have many people that have like larger private collections, like all their stuff is like handmade, because it's easier for them, or money wise, it's easier for them as well. Um, I mean, if it works for you and it like keeps the pests out, keeps your specimen safe, use it. Why not? And I know you're not a lep guy. Um, Nice you can show up anyway. I mean, obviously, this is just so I can get the butterflies done and out of the way. Um, I think, well, I will sometime soon do a live stream working on beetles, because I have a lot of beetles that are all identified that just need trays and drawers. I need to order more drawers and trays. Oh, okay. I mean, doing it by size obviously works for you. So might as well just do it that way. I mean, and eventually, if you get more specimens, you can slowly go the this route. Then you can just eventually like sort them by families or that type of thing. I mean, if you get enough specimens. Oh, thank you. I have a whole bunch of insect shirts. I'm planning on switching out every live stream. So we're now on to the next Califris species. We have Califris polios. And I only have 2 specimens of this species. This is one of the elfins. Now the elfins are smaller. I don't want to say drab looking, but they have like that brown, dark coloration, and they look drab at first sight. But once you actually look at them, they're gorgeous. Okay, we have another elfin. Single specimen. Califris augustinus. There are a lot of cool insects in general in the Philippines. I mean, I don't want to say unfortunately, but I'm someone who doesn't buy specimens. Um, I exchange with people. Yeah, that's fine. I don't buy specimens for my collection. And I get offered all the time from people from like Philippines and more Southeast Asian countries if I want to buy specimens. And like, I want the specimens; they're really cool, but I don't want to buy them. Exchanging with other collectors from the area, definitely. I just don't want to buy them. But yeah, there's tons of cool insects over there. Opinion regarding pointing versus card mounting. Um, I'm a point. I point. Um, Pointing and is better in terms of identification. Card mounting looks more aesthetically pleasing, for sure. I think it's more of a regional thing because I think most people that card mount insects are over in Europe. So I think card mounting is like a mainly European thing. You don't see card mounting really in any collections here in the US. But card mounting is definitely way more visually stunning than points. But I point. I think pointing is the way to go. Um, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many people out, like especially from the Philippines, Indonesia, and like those island nations that are always selling specimens and all that type of stuff. So luckily I don't buy specimens in the first place, so I don't have to worry about that. It's trying to find an actual collector in like those countries that like we can exchange specimens like I do with other collectors in other countries. Okay, I think we're on the last Calliphris species. We have Calliphris affinis. And if the lighting is as terrible as it looks like on my screen, you can't really see how beautiful green these butterflies are. Maybe if I got it close, you can see the green on them now. Really beautiful species. And we'll start the hair streaks next. Oh yeah, I'm all about traveling and collecting myself. That's the funnest part. Obviously, it's the certain amount. There's only a certain amount of vacation days I get a year, so I have to kind of pick and choose where I go collecting. But if I could travel all year round, all the time to different countries, couldn't collect, I definitely would. But I can't, so I am. I'm really excited to check out your area. I'm really looking forward to that. And I've been seeing some of your collecting things you've been posting on Instagram too. I think I saw your click beetle ones; those are really cool. And kind of like just saw some of the habitat you've been in. It looks like a really, really awesome area. This is the Calliphris dumatorium perplexa, like the affinis, because I know out west there's a few of those like green Calliphris species that are pretty similar, and sometimes they can get kind of crazy with all their subspecies that they of stuff out there. You got Calicopus isobean. Just a little hair streak. Down in, wonder where did I collect these? Yeah, these were collected in Aransas County down in Texas. Now I'm down visiting my grandparents. They live in Aransas County. Those click beetles you had were, I mean, they were gorgeous. I think you were able to show the pattern on the video you posted, but yeah, those are quite something. Oh, you got the green sweat bees, right? Were they Agrochlorella or Agrochlora, one of those genus? Or do you have a different genus out there? Because I know Agrochlorella, Agrochlora, Agrochloropsis. I forgot which drawer. Oh. Robbie, I just pulled this out, but just for you, or pretty soon, here's a thing of identified beetles that I have to go through. So I'll probably just turn going through this box and like other beetles into a live stream. Because I have a lot of beetles to go through. Here we go. Just gonna take a break from the butterflies real quick because Robbie brought up sweat bees. So these ones aren't sorted. Over here are the sorted ones. I think you can see them there of the green sweat bees that I've collected so far. Yeah, so over here we have Agrochlorella aurata, Agrochloropyra, Agapostamine species, and we have Agrochlorops metallica. So I have some specimens of each of the green sweat bee species. $70 bugs total. I started off with that many. I used to have 70. That was a long time ago. But I used to have no collection at all. So yeah. And now I have about 25,000. Started from nothing. Now I'm here. Eat the Agapostamine, yeah. Honestly, my favorite of the green sweat bees are the Agapostamine as well. Just the startling difference between the males and the females are like, whew. Well, I counted them by trays and by boxes, and then like just wrote everything down, and then I added up the totals of everything, and then I got that. And now I actually keep a tally somewhere that then as I get more specimens, I just keep writing stuff down and then just keep adding it to a total and stuff. So I have it in a place where I can continually update it. So the species I'm going through next is the gray hair streak. This is a very common species in the U.S. I've got specimens from Colorado, Texas, Wisconsin, Arkansas, Louisiana. So I have specimens of the gray hair streak from a number of different states. some specimens just come to you. Sometimes you get the best specimens out of nowhere. One time I caught a buprestid woodbourne beetle in my beard. It got tangled up in my it got tangled up, hit my beard and got tangled up, and I was able to pull it out and put it in a vial. So here's the tray of gray hair streak. Cuckoo wasps are really amazing. I collect those anytime I get a chance. I'm not sure how many I have. I don't have too many. I just have a handful of specimens, I think. Only a couple specimens of the tarantula hawks. Southwest U.S. wasp species really are something else. They're absolutely crazy. Velvet ants. I don't have tons of velvet ants. I have a decent amount. The biggest tarantula hawk wasp I have is this one. Part of a few I collected down in southeastern Colorado back in 2020 before I moved back. Also collected some really beautiful I have a couple of velvet ants in this box as well. Here's one of the larger ones I have in this box. And the ones in this box don't have their labels yet. Their labels are here. I just haven't cut the labels up and put them on them yet. But they do have their labels. Well, not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, I hand caught all my grasshoppers that I collected. I didn't even take out the net once. I caught them. I snuck up on them, got them with my hand somehow. In Wisconsin, I've only come across a velvet ant once. Obviously, the best place for velvet ants is the southwestern U.S. because the southwestern U.S. is the best place for almost all insects in North America. Not that that makes me jealous or anything. Hand catches are fun. Down in Brownsville, Texas, I hand caught a Neoponera villosa, the hairy panther ant. I regretted it immediately. I got so excited. I saw it. I was like, oh no, I need to have it. Picked it up. Got me twice in the finger, and my finger blew up like a freaking balloon. That was the worst sting I've ever felt from an insect so far. That sucker hurt. So here we have Calicopus sacrops. Beautiful little hair streak there. I've hand collected velvet ants before. If you're quick enough with velvet ants, you can get them in a vial before they have a chance to sting you. I've only been stung by a velvet ant once. I was down in Arkansas eating a McChicken in a McDonald's. I felt a really sharp pain coming from my thigh. I jumped up, and a velvet ant fell out of my shorts and onto the floor of the McDonald's. So somehow, without me noticing, the velvet ant crawled up my leg into my shorts. I sat down and like squeezed it or somehow and stung me right on my thigh in the middle of McDonald's. Needless to say, I put that sucker in a vial and is now in my collection. Yeah, I get stung the most getting stuff out of my net as well. That's especially when I used to do like sweep nets for bees and wasps on flowers. Getting that whole sample into a bag, uh, getting like grabbing thing, putting it into a bag, you get stung through the net and all that stuff. Another little hair streak there, Satyrium liparops. Oh no. All right, so this is probably my favorite Satyrium species, Satyrium berrii, bear's hair streak. Really quite a beautiful species. You show up, I get distracted from the butterflies. Yeah, thanks, Robbie. Actually, I'm proud of myself. I've actually been getting work done. Mm. Granted, I got more work done before you joined you joined the live stream, but I'm still getting work done. All right, we got a really beautiful, great purple hair streak. Collected this one in Jacksonville, Florida. I really wish I got more specimens of this species. Really gorgeous. You have pinning you should be doing. My apologies for distracting. But I actually have I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have pinning I need to do too. I want to get these butterflies all finished before I started that though. Which I think I should be able to. Okay, we have Strymon Estapa. Collected these down in Miami, Florida. Beautiful little hair streak there. Let's see. Well, we're almost done with the hair streaks and we're almost on to the coppers. I just have a couple species of hair streaks left. Oh, paying them for photography. Yeah. Speaking of photography, I was really happy this weekend. I've many years of attempting to get a photo. I've seen this. I finally got a photo of a red-headed woodpecker. I've been trying for years to get a photo of it. I've seen them. I've seen them kind of regularly over the years. Still only a handful of times, but I was finally able to get a picture of one. And I also finally, over the weekend, saw my very first yellow-bellied sapsuckers. Oh no, I've seen plenty of pileated woodpeckers. I still need to get a good picture of a pileated, but I was getting the red-headed woodpecker. Satyrium acatica, Acadian hair streak, right there. Next up, we have Satyrium titus. Got the coral hair streak. Satyrium carrierorum. Got a single specimen of that. I probably just butchered that name, by the way. Satyrium calanus. A couple of those. And yeah, the very last hair streak species. Electrostrymon angelia. Beautiful little species I collected down in Miami as well. So time for the coppers. Well, actually, I'll start with the harvester here. Harvester butterflies are really awesome. Their caterpillars actually feed on woolly aphids. So I come across these fairly regularly. Really beautiful species, small species. All right, so that filled up this drawer. Now this drawer isn't going to stay like this. I'm obviously going to rearrange everything and get all the butterflies situated how I want them. But the drawer is finished. Got some beautiful butterflies in there. I actually like the look of it, actually. But yeah, I honestly pinning butterflies is kind of an art form in itself. Because I have a lot of times, I have most of the time now, I feel like I'm good enough at spreading butterflies and moths that they usually always turn out good. Every now and then, I still get a specimen that doesn't want to behave. So I'll open another empty drawer here. First, I need to get off screen real quick because I need to get a fresh batch of unit trays. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 species left of lysinids. And then we just have the last box of skippers to go through. And I don't know if we'll finish. I'll finish all of them in the live stream because either I finish the butterflies first or the battery runs out on my computer first. So hopefully I can get as far as I can. Ouch. All right. That should help for a little bit at least. And sometimes it can be tough to pin them without the scales coming off. That's just practice. So you have a gray copper. I have a Lysina nivalis, a lilac bordered copper. Really beautiful species. Now here I have Lysina heloides and Lysina dorcas. Depending on who you follow, some people think they're the same species. Some people think they're separate species. Some people think there's another species mixed in here. So for the moment, I just have them separated based on their location and habitat where I collected them. So that's why I have this one as heloides and these ones as dorcas. Taxonomy. Makes life interesting. I have Lysina rubidus. Really nice looking copper. Really nice bronzy orange color. Really shiny. Pretty large size copper. Really beautiful. Those will be going here. So here we have a blue copper. You see males of this species are the really beautiful blue, and females are the grayish drab looking ones. I wish I had more males because obviously, look at them, it's gorgeous. But I'm really happy with what specimens I have of this species. Really beautiful. For the longest time, I wanted to see the species in person. So when I was finally able to get it, I was really happy. Got those collected out in Colorado. We have a little Lysinophleus. Small, beautiful species. And the last Lysina hylas. Got some really beautiful looking specimens there. All of these were collected in Wisconsin. Didn't really realize that. So awesome. That emptied up another thing. So we have another empty one here. Oh man. Last box, you guys. Yeah, butterflies and moths are really gorgeous. And I think because they're so pretty is why non-bud people are attracted to butterflies and moths more than any other insects like beetles and that stuff. Which is unfortunate. Understandable, of course, but unfortunate. Because, I mean, ants need the love too. Ants are amazing. So are grasshoppers. So are aquatic beetles. So are the big ass wasps. So these are what's left of my skippers. Oh, dang nabbit. I guess I'll just start with all the Hesperia. We have Hesperia pahasca. I think Hesperia is my favorite genus of skippers, just because of like the patterns on the underside of the wings. They're gorgeous. I have a Hesperia uncus. Obviously, another gorgeous species. Ponies. I have a Hesperia juba. Hesperia sassicus. Hmm. Oh, I have more Hesperia than that, but apparently those are the only ones in there. The rest of them must be already in their stuff. Okay. We have a lawn wing skipper. Unfortunately, only one lawn wing because the other one broke off. Maybe I actually I think I caught it like that. I must have. I didn't break it off. Of course I didn't break it off. Oh, that was. Look, I already need to go get a new batch of this small things. So I guess I'll just fill what I can of these up. So I guess I'll just fill up a couple of Arenas Dusty Wings. Because they'll take up these ones. We have another Arenas Horatius. Is it my thought to eventually donate my collection to a museum one day? Yeah. If my, it'd be nice if my hopeful future children carry on, be entomologists, continue building the collection. But if that doesn't happen, yeah, donation to a university or a museum is what I would want my collection to do. Kind of didn't realize I had this many checkered skippers. Apparently, I do. That's okay though. Checkered skippers are gorgeous. So we have a checkered skipper. As you can see, it's a pretty variable species. Variable, but gorgeous nonetheless. Okay, we have a couple of monk skippers. Collected these down in Miami, Florida. I need another refill on the small unit trays real quick. There's a problem, guys. I think I might run out of small unit trays. That's not good. Dang it. I think I will run out of small unit trays. Really, really pretty small little skipper there. Wallengrenia. Otho. Yeah, I guess I gotta order more. I have to order a couple more drawers as well. Pallades Mystic. So I'm gonna kind of speed run through a few of these. Poenes Massasoit. Pretty interesting looking skipper there. Gorgeous, of course. A Poenes Viator. Pretty decently sized skipper. We have a Pallades Sonora. I got this species in northern Colorado, which I wasn't really expecting to see the species there, or even realize they even had caught this species there. So that was a really nice find when I discovered that was that particular species. Parachatoni Snowy. Snow's skipper. Okay, I'm going to get a couple of these ones out of the way. We have a white striped long tail skipper. Collected these in Texas. Beautiful. I love the really long tails of the species, and obviously that bold white stripe on the underside of the hind wing is quite gorgeous. Okay. Regular long wing skipper. Here we have the hoary edge. Echalaris lyciates. I really love the look of this species. This is a pretty good looking species. Last small tray. Kind of disappointed. So I'm going to fill up with another species of checkered skipper. Virgus ruralis. Small little thing. All right. So coincidentally, that last little tray filled up this drawer. So this is coppers and skippers in here. So this will obviously, as I said before, go through them again just to sort everything out. So I can sort them. And I think I'll go ahead, fill up this one with some silver spotted skipper. Because I can. Sweet. So we got a tray of silver spotted skippers. Obviously, nice size skipper, really fast skipper, really beautiful skipper. It's always really nice to see one of these flying around. And unfortunately, all the other skippers I have are all going to be going in the small unit trays, which I ran out of. So this is what's left of all the butterflies we went through. That is what's left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I need to order at least 20 more. Bollocks. That is what it is. So I'm glad I got all that work done, though. I think this was a pretty successful live stream. Accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. Didn't quite finish everything. But we went till we ran out. Awesome start. Opened up some room. Got everything sorted. Looks nice. I'm really happy with it. And I hope for anyone who's been all the guys, ever people, For those of you who are still watching, I hope you enjoyed. I know it's never ending. Constant work. It just means I'm always going to be busy. So I think that's going to be the end of this live stream. Appreciate you guys sticking with me. Been at it for 2 hours now. Gotta love it. So, hope you guys have a good one. Have a good night. Happy collecting. Hopefully, I'll get some more videos. Oh, I'm just glad you ended up making it. So that's all that matters. So I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.